toolkit we have here is constructing an expression. So we're looking at word problems and how we are going to create an expression out of the situation that we have here. All right, I'm going to go ahead and read it. And I'm going to read it through once and then go back and think about a strategy that will work. It says Tom and Jerry plan to fence their backyard. The yard is the shape of a rectangle where the length is 3 times the width. The edge of the house sits on the shorter length of the yard. The house measures 20 feet wide. The house will be used as part of the perimeter. Write an expression to determine the length of the fence. Okay, so that's what we're going to try to work on. And so it has a lot of information in there. We got to go back to where do I start when I think about this. I'm going to say that I'm going to start with a rectangle because it says the yard is the shape of a rectangle. So here's my rectangle. Okay. The yard is the shape of a rectangle where the length, here's the length, is 3 times the width. Here's the width. And so we've got to think about that the length is 3 times the width. So how can I represent the length using the width? Well, the length is going to equal 3 times the width, right? 3 times the width is going to be the length. So I might call this 3W. And there's the 3W there, and there's the W there. And then it says the edge of the house sits on the shorter length of the yard. So I'm going to draw the house right here. There's the house. And so it's on the shorter length of the yard, and this distance from here to here is 20 feet. And so we need to write an expression to figure out what the fencing is that's needed. So if I were to go in and draw this, my fencing comes here, I've got it here, it comes down here, here, and coming up here. Okay? And so we were thinking about how can I represent this? Well, I know to get perimeter that equals my length plus my width plus my length plus my width, right? And so if we're going to think about how we're going to represent length, and we're going to call it 3W, then the amount of perimeter that I need is going to be 3W, that came from there, plus my width, plus 3W, plus my width, right? So all I did was represent my lengths as 3W because the length is 3W. But wait a minute, we have a 20-foot distance that we don't need for our fencing material. So we have to get to take that out of our total, right? So minus 20. Because when we go to purchase this, depending on what the width is, we're going to find out the entire perimeter. Then we're going to take out the 20 feet of the house area that we don't need fencing for. So I've got 3W plus 3W is 6W, plus a W is 7W, plus another W is 8W minus 20. So all of these were the same term, and what I just did was I combined all those. All of those became 8W minus 20 is represented right here as the house, and there's your subtract 20 there. And those cannot combine, so there's your final answer. Now before I move on to the next one, I want to make note on what we did. We started with a picture. Okay, pictures are awesome. Draw pictures when you don't know what else to do. Draw pictures when you do know what to do so that you make sure that you're doing the right thing right there. Okay? So our final answer is 8W minus 20 is going to equal the amount of fencing that we need to go buy. Now we would have to then measure the width and actually calculate that to figure out what that final measurement was. For example, if the width was 50 feet, then I might have 8 times 50 minus 20. And 8 times 50 is 400 minus 20 is going to give me 380 total feet of material. Now if our width was 100 feet, then we're going to have a different answer. But now I know that I can use this formula right here to find out the fencing that I need. Looking at question 2. Okay, you and your sister are starting a business preparing meals. You can make M number of meals. Each meal you sell, you will earn $3.50. Your sister will be providing the drinks and will earn $1.25 for each beverage sold. Your mom is super excited for the business and has decided to contribute by donating $100. Write an expression to model this situation. I might have be able to add here, write an expression to model this situation to determine your profit, right? So we're going to be thinking about how can I determine profit? Well, if I know that I'm going to be calling my M my meals, I'm going to call my B my beverages, and I get an extra $100 donation because my mom loves me, and moms are awesome like that. Okay, so each meal you sell, you will earn $3.50 for each meal. Okay, so the meals are called M, so I'm going to say it's $3.50 times every meal that I sell plus $1.25 for every beverage that I sell, because B is standing for the beverages. Plus, we have an awesome mom that's going to give us $100 to start our business. This talks about our profit right here. And so what you have here is 3 times the number of meals. Well, let's say, for example, that we sell 10 meals and we sell 10 drinks, right? So we're going to say our meals are going to be 10. We're selling 10 of them, and we're going to sell 10 drinks. So then we would just substitute that in. $3.50. I'm going to take M, and I'm going to say now all of a sudden we've sold 10 of them. That became 10 plus $1.25, and B is just a placeholder for me to put in 10 because I'm going to get 10 beverages sold. So there's the beverages turned into 10. But remember, we have an awesome mom who gave us $100. So this ends up being $35 plus $12.50 plus $100 is going to give us our entire profit. And you would come up with your answer. But again, I'm backing us up to just the equation that we were representing. That situation above, here would be the equation that would model that situation. Okay?